Welcome to Before the Council, a reading of the Revere City Council Agenda for the meeting of Monday, May 23rd, 2016. There are 36 items on the agenda this week. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. with the Zoning Subcommittee chaired by Councilor Robert J. Hass, Jr. Also on the committee, Councilor Patrick M. Keefe, Jr., Councilor Joanne M. McKenna, Councilor John F. Powers, Councilor George J. Rotundo, and Councilor Anthony T. Zambuto. The committee will consider the following two items. First, pursuant to Council Order C-16-03, James Stivell of Saugus, Massachusetts is requesting permission from the Revere City Council to change an existing non-conforming use, a commercial garage, to another non-conforming use, a special garage, and for the alteration of a non-conforming structure at number 851 through 855 Broadway in Revere. And second, pursuant to Council Order C-16-04, Squire Circle Associates of Revere, Massachusetts is seeking permission from the Revere City Council to reconstruct and convert the existing two non-conforming outdoor advertising billboards to billboards with digital billboards on lots number 840, 841, and 862 Broadway on Ferragamo Way, Revere, Massachusetts. At 5:30, we move on to the Revere Police Department Officer Recognition Program, where the Chief of Police will recognize various police officers who have performed above and beyond the call of duty. At 5:55, it's time for the Appointments Subcommittee meeting, chaired by Councilor Arthur F. Guanasso, along with Councilor Patrick M. Keefe, Jr., Councilor Joanne M. McKenna, Councilor Stephen Morabito, and Councilor Charles J. Patch, Sr. The committee will consider the following appointments. 1. Pursuant to Council Order 16-071, the reappointment of R. Sasso and Sons Construction, Incorporated of Revere, Massachusetts, as a licensed drain layer. 2. Pursuant to Council Order 16-072, the reappointment of J. Marchese and Sons, Incorporated of Everett, Massachusetts, as a licensed drain layer. 3. The reappointment of Laura Davella of Lynn, Massachusetts, as a constable. And 4. The reappointment of Scott Falconer of J.J. O'Brien and Sons, Waltham, Massachusetts, as a licensed drain layer. Please note that in order for an appointment to be confirmed by the full City Council, the appointee must attend the Appointments Subcommittee meeting. At 6 p.m., we have the Revere City Council meeting, which begins with a salute to the flag, the roll call of members, and the approval of the journal of the meeting held on May 9th, 2016. Then it's on to calendar item number 1, the Zoning Subcommittee report. Calendar item number 2 is the Appointments Subcommittee report. And then in accordance with Rule 23 of the City Council Rules of Order, the following motions or communications are being reported out of committee with a recommendation to be placed on file. Calendar item number 3, pursuant to Council Order 16-007. This is relative to a communication from PERAC, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Public Employee Retirement Administration Commission, relative to the fiscal year 2017 appropriation in the amount of $11,773,616. Calendar item number 4, pursuant to Council Order 16-016. This is regarding a motion pertaining to the amendments to the city charter from a motion by Councilor Rotundo in the City Council on January 25th, 2016, that the City Council amend the city charter as follows. 1. All persons seeking office must submit to a query, of which shall be publicly accessible for review. 2. That if any person who cannot carry out his or her duties as a ward councilor, that the qualified runner-up assumes a seat until the new election. The intent is to reflect the same provisions as provided by in the city charter related to at-large city councilors And 3, that the mayor, city councilor, and school committee meet jointly to review and amend the number of signatures required to run for office in the city of Revere. Calendar item number 5. This is pursuant to Council Order 16-033, a motion relative to discussing enforcement of city ordinances as it pertains to storefront signage and advertising. Calendar item number 6, pursuant to Council Order 16-020, regarding a motion relative to violations at the Revere Adult Day Health Care Center. Calendar item number 7. This is a communication from Matt Mullaney, Caregiver Homes, outlining his company's service, which provides support to family caregivers. Dated May 2nd, 2016, the Honorable City Council, dear Council President Giannino. I am the Area Director for Caregiver Homes, a Mass Health funded service that supports family caregivers and their loved ones. The people we serve are adults who grapple with significant medical, mental health, and disability concerns, but are able to continue living at home with their families and our supports. We have been serving in Greater Boston since 2006, and we are the only Mass Health provider of our kind that is accredited by the National Committee for Quality Assurance, the NCQA. What that means, in a nutshell, is that we deliver a very high-quality combination of financial, technical, and social supports to caregivers and their loved ones. To qualify for this program, individuals must be 16 years of age or older, have Mass Health standard, and need support with personal care like bathing, dressing, getting around inside the home, eating, and using the bathroom. Caregivers must be at least 18 years of age, live with the qualifying individual, and make a commitment to caregiving with our supports. We serve 41 families in Revere today. We would like to spread the word about this life-changing service. To that end, we welcome a chance to present an overview of Caregiver Homes and answer your questions on May 23rd. Sincerely, Matt Mullaney, the Area Director of Caregiver Homes. Calendar item number 8, pursuant to Council Order 16-085. This is a communication from the Revere Neighborhood Developers, TND, outlining the application process for One Beach. Representatives from TND will be present to answer any questions. The communication is dated May 3rd, 2016, and it's addressed to Joe Gravelisi, the aide to Mayor Brian M. Arrigo. Dear Mr. Gravelisi, thank you for contacting the Neighborhood Developers, TND, regarding the resident selection process for leasing the 39 affordable apartments for seniors under construction at 1 Beach Street, also known as One Beach. The purpose of this letter is to provide a detailed outline of the steps in the selection process. In summary, the high level of interest among prospective residents indicates the strong demand for affordable housing for seniors in Revere, particularly for apartments affordable to households of very low incomes. TND and our property management agent have received 685 applications for 39 apartments. At this stage of leasing, TND's property manager has not yet signed any leases, but is in the final stages of reviewing 31 applicants. We expect to begin signing leases in the near future. The review of applications is ongoing so that residents can begin moving into the property during June of 2016 and continue through the summer of 2016. State policies designed to comply with state and federal fair housing laws allow TND to apply a local preference to up to 70% of One Beach's apartments, or 27 of the 39 apartments. Of the first 31 applicants under review, 19 currently live in Revere, and 2 additional applicants also qualify under the local preference guidelines, more details below, which is equal to 68%. As lease-up continues, TND expects to continue to approach the maximum percentage of 70% local preference. However, the final percentage may change based on the applicant pool. TND must comply with federal and state fair housing laws in the leasing of one beach and all of the properties TND owns in Revere and Chelsea. The Massachusetts Department of Housing and Community Development's fair housing guidelines for marketing and resident selection can be found at their website, http://www.mass.gov/hed/hd/fair/hd/afhmp.pdf. To answer the questions from the Revere City Council's meeting on April 25th, below are more details about the steps in the leasing process. Advertisements. T&D broadly advertised the availability of rental applications, including through published ads in the Revere Journal, Revere Advocate, and other local newspapers in late 2015 and early 2016. We sent notices to the Mayor's Office, the Revere Planning Department, the Revere Senior Center, the Revere Housing Authority, and other service organizations in Revere and in other surrounding towns to make interested people aware of applications. We posted flyers at several local businesses, the Revere Public Library, and the Adult Education Program at Revere Public Schools. We made individual phone calls to about 90 seniors who had expressed interest in an application prior to their availability. Applications. T&D made rental applications available online, by mail, and in person at our property manager's Chelsea office from December 5th, 2015 through February 5th, 2016. Applications had to be submitted by February 5th, 2016 in order to be included in the housing lottery. Applications may still be submitted at any time, but will be placed on a waiting list. More details about the waiting list are below. Information sessions. TND and our property manager held 2 information sessions to explain the details of the apartment building, rents, and resident selection process, and to answer questions. The first was on December 17, 2015 at the American Legion Hall in Revere. The second was on January 14, 2016 at TND's office in Chelsea. These sessions were broadly advertised and between 30 and 40 people came to each. Housing Lottery. TND and our property manager held the Housing Lottery on March 17, 2016 at TND's office. The purpose of the lottery was to randomly sort the order in which applications would be reviewed, subject to additional criteria and preferences as described below. Application review. Following the lottery, T&D's property manager began reviewing applications according to the following process. First, the property manager placed applicants into categories based on the size of the apartment they applied for. There are 30 one-bedroom apartments and 9 two-bedroom apartments at One Beach. Second, the property manager placed applicants into 2 subcategories based on a household's income. One Beach has 2 different rent levels in order to house people of different incomes. Of the 39 apartments, 31 apartments have a fixed monthly rent of about $1,030 for a one-bedroom apartment and about $1,230 for a two-bedroom apartment. This rent includes heat, hot water, a common laundry room, and a community room with public computers and internet. The rent is about a 40 to 50% discount to other new construction properties of comparable quality in Revere and Chelsea. Eligible households must have annual incomes that do not exceed the maximum limits, about $47,000 per year for a 2-person household, and also must be able to pay the rent without spending more than 35 to 40% of their income to ensure they are not cost burdened by the rent. Eligible households may also have a mobile rental voucher that covers a portion of the rent. The remaining 8 apartments have a variable monthly rent set at 30% of households' actual income. These apartments serve households of much lower incomes, no more than $39,400 for a two-person household, but often the annual income is much lower because there is no lower limit. The majority of applicants had household incomes that placed them in this category. Third, T&D's property manager mailed to each applicant an update regarding his or her lottery number following this sorting. For example, an applicant with lottery number 48 may be number 12 within the pool for applicants for a two-bedroom apartment with a fixed monthly rent. Fourth, T&D's property manager began interviewing applicants and reviewing their information according to preferences. Applicants who meet the state's policy criteria for local preference have their applications reviewed before the applications of those who do not meet the criteria. State policy gives local preference to applicants who at the time of their application live, work, or have a child in their household attending Revere Public Schools. According to state policy, the local preference may only apply to One Beach's 31 apartments with a fixed monthly rent and the households who are eligible for these apartments. According to state policy, local preference may not apply to the 8 apartments with a variable rent. T&D is happy to join city officials in reviewing this policy with state officials. In addition to local preference, other preferences apply to One Beach, including for 3 accessible apartments and household size. These additional preferences do not interfere with the ability to provide a local preference. After implementing these preferences, T&D's property manager reviews applications starting with the lowest lottery numbers, that is, number 1. Each applicant's review includes income eligibility, tenant history, criminal history, and credit history. The property manager may reject an application if the review indicates an applicant's income is greater than the maximum allowed, or if the applicant would be an unsuitable tenant. Each household at One Beach must have one person who is 55 years or older. Local preference, as mentioned above, state policy allows T&D to apply a local preference to up to 70% of One Beach's apartments, or 27 of the 39 apartments. At this stage of leasing of the first 31 applicants under review, 19 currently live in Revere, 1 currently works in Revere, and 1 applicant has a child in his or her household who attends Revere Public Schools. Applicant status is verified by utility bills, tax bills, or employer confirmation, for example. This total, 21 of 31 applicants, equals 68% local preference for the applicants currently under consideration for a lease. As lease-up continues, T&D expects to continue to approach the maximum percentage of 70% local preference. However, the final percentage may change based on the applicant pool. Rejected applications. T&D's property manager has rejected 11 applications from Revere residents to date because the household annual income was above the maximum allowed, the household size would have violated state sanitary code, or because the household did not pass the background check. Applicants who are rejected are notified of the reasons for the rejection and are notified that they have an opportunity to appeal and provide additional information if they believe that an error was made when considering the application. 4 Revere residents represented in their application that they had a mobile rental voucher. Upon review, it was determined that the voucher was not in fact available. These residents did not have sufficient income to qualify for the apartments with a fixed rent, so they can only be considered for the 8 apartments with a variable rent. These 8 apartments have extremely high demand, and state policy prohibits the application of local residency preferences to these apartments. Waiting list. All applicants will be placed on the waiting list according to their lottery number once the 39 apartments are leased. T&D's property manager will send a semi-annual or annual notice to all members of the waiting list to confirm that they want to remain on the list. T&D's property manager will continue to accept applications for one beach, but they will be placed on the waiting list according to the order in which they are received. I hope that this information helps explain the resident selection process for one beach and local preference in particular. My colleagues and I are glad to meet with you, Mayor Arrigo, and City Council members to answer any questions. Please contact me at your convenience. Thank you very much for your time. Sincerely, Emily Loomis, the Director of Real Estate Development for the Neighborhood Developers Incorporated. Calendar item number 9. This is a communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of J.J. O'Brien of Waltham, Massachusetts as a licensed drain layer. Calendar item number 10. This is a communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of the Mountain Brothers of Oxford, Massachusetts as a licensed drain layer. Calendar item number 11. This is a communication from Eugene McCain of Alliance Capital LLC, presenting Alliance Capital's proposed hotel development and electronic gaming facility plans dated May 18th, 2016. It's addressed to the City Council President, dear Councilwoman Janino. After several meetings with Councilwoman Joanne McKenna, our ward representative, and Councilman John Powers, Robert Hass, and Stephen Morabito, it was made clear that it would be helpful if we were to provide a short presentation of our development plans to the full council. Through your city clerk, Ms. Ashley Melnick, we have assigned a short window of 15 minutes to a brief presentation at your May 23rd, 2016 council meeting. In the meeting, I will be presenting one update on our hotel development plans for our site located at the Lee Trailer Park on Revere Beach Parkway and other adjacent properties fronting Route 1A. 2, update on the state of Massachusetts' initiative effort to allow one more electronic gaming facility and the possibility of getting the license, if passed, awarded to a site in Revere. And 3, presentation of the May 10th, 2016 poll results in which registered voters in Revere indicated their support for an electronic gaming facility in Revere. I look forward to meeting the full council and making this short presentation. Sincerely yours, Eugene McCain, Managing Director of Alliance Capital Massachusetts, LLC. Calendar item number 12. This is a communication from the mayor requesting a bond authorization in the amount of $7,858,315 for the purpose of replacing the roof at the Garfield School. Calendar item number 13. This is a communication from the mayor requesting a bond authorization in the amount of $12,300,000 for CWSRF construction project number 4051, dated May 17th, 2016. Dear council members, I am writing to request a public hearing for a new loan order for borrowing under the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protections, that's Mass DEP's, calendar year 2016, CY 2016, Clean Water State Revolving Fund, CWSRF. The CWSRF was established to provide a low-cost funding mechanism to assist municipalities in complying with federal and state water quality requirements. In this round, the city is seeking to borrow funding for construction of the following projects: CWSRF, construction project number 4051, $12,300,000 for the Phase 7 construction, infiltration, inflow, I&I, removal, illicit discharge detection and elimination, IDDE, pump stations, and drainage improvements. This CWSRF loan received initial approval by DEP, as was the case last year, in order to take advantage of these low-interest loans and potential principal forgiveness again this year, the city must complete two steps. First, approve a resolution expressly authorizing the mayor to file all applications and execute documents necessary for the loan, and second, approve the loan order for the balance of the project. The City Council should recognize that these significant borrowings within the city's water and sewer enterprise fund will likely be a regular annual event during the course of the next decade. The construction work proposed with this new fund, as well as similar work necessary in future years, are required commitments of the city's consent decree with the United States Department of Justice to remedy historic violations of the Federal Clean Water Act. Specifically, the $12,300,000 in construction funds proposed under the CY 2016 CWSRF project number 4051 funding will be utilized for the following three categories of work. One, to rehabilitate sewer pipelines, pumping stations, and manholes to reduce infiltration inflow, I&I, into the wastewater system. Two, to rehabilitate storm drains and pumping stations to improve flood control, to address IDDE, and or to reduce the amount of storm water entering the wastewater systems, and three, to complete the capital improvements to stormwater and wastewater pump stations throughout the city. I ask that the City Council approve the resolution and move this loan order to a public hearing at its earliest opportunity. In advance of the public hearing, I will arrange for the city's consultants, CDM Smith, to provide the City Council with an update on the status of the previous and ongoing work completed within our sewer and stormwater systems to meet the demands of the EPA, the United States Department of Justice, and the consent decree. This background should assist the Council as it deliberates on this current funding request. Very truly yours, Brian M. Arrigo, Mayor. Calendar item number 14. This is a communication from the mayor requesting a bond authorization in the amount of $3,600,000 for CWSRF construction project number 4052, which is for the illicit connection of sump pump removal program. Specifically, the $3.6 million in construction funds proposed under the CY 2016 CWSRF project number 4052 funding will be utilized for the following two categories of work. One, to remove and redirect sources of illicit connections to the sewer system, and two, to extend drains as necessary to remove illicit connections to the sewer system. Calendar item number 15. This is a communication from the mayor requesting a bond authorization in the amount of $1,500,000 for CWSRF construction project number 4054 for field investigations, infiltration, inflow, I&I, and illicit discharge detection and elimination, IDDE. Specifically, the $1.5 million in planning funds proposed under the CY 2016 CWSRF project number 4054 funding will be utilized for the following two categories of work. One, to investigate the condition and operation of the sanitary sewer and stormwater systems, and two, to continue with citywide supplemental field investigations activities associated with illicit discharge detection and elimination, IDDE. Calendar item number 16. This is a communication from the mayor requesting a bond authorization in the amount of $850,000 for CWSRF construction project number 4055, $850,000 for the illicit connections and sump pump detection. The money will be used in the two categories of work following. One, to investigate and eliminate illicit connections, and two, to continue to develop and implement a house-to-house inspection program for the purpose of identifying sump pumps for removal or redirection. Calendar item number 17. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo pursuant to Council Order number 16-102 that the mayor assess the land at the Department of Public Works before moving forward with any development to ensure compliance of 91A and LSP. Calendar item number 18, pursuant to Council Order 16-104. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the mayor provide the Revere City Council with the scope and criteria for all landscaping bids for field work related to city parks. Calendar item number 19, pursuant to Council Order 16-124. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the mayor provide the City Council with the amount of overtime dollars utilized for the months of August, April, and December over the last 2 years as requested and agreed upon by mayoral aide Omar Bukili during the March 22nd City Council meeting. Calendar item number 20, pursuant to Council Order 16-125. This is a motion presented by Councilor Patch that the mayor request CDM to install an 8-foot fence around the Goldie Street pump station and landscape the area. Calendar item number 21, pursuant to Council Order 16-126. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the Revere City Council amend the City Council Rules of Order to permit a councilor to submit more than 5 motions per meeting when the council does not meet for more than 14 days without suspension of rules. Calendar item number 22, pursuant to Council Order 16-128. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City of Revere look into the feasibility of creating an economic and zoning master plan for the next 10 years. Calendar item number 23, pursuant to Council Order 16-129. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City of Revere look into the feasibility of a Revere Economic Development and Industrial Corporation as permitted under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 121C. Calendar item number 24, pursuant to Council Order 16-130. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City of Revere look into the feasibility of obtaining foreign trade zone status for general purpose and subzones. Calendar item number 25, pursuant to Council Order 16-131. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City of Revere look into the feasibility of a Revere Development Authority. Calendar item number 26, pursuant to Council Order 16-134, a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City of Revere look into the feasibility of a cultural museum and carousel on the Revere Beach by working with the DCR, the state legislature, and the governor. Calendar item number 27. This is pursuant to Council Order 16-135, a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the stretch code be stricken from the city ordinances as it has been found to create mold in homes. Calendar item number 28, pursuant to Council Order 16-136. This is a motion presented by Councilor Haas that the mayor requests the DCR to install a bike lane on Revere Beach Boulevard. Calendar item number 29, pursuant to Council Order 16-137. This is a motion presented by Councilor Haas that the mayor requests the DCR to amend the parking regulations on Revere Beach Boulevard as follows. No parking from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. from Bianchi's to Revere Street, both sides. The purpose of this amendment is to prevent commuter parking. Calendar item number 30, pursuant to Council Order 16-139. This is a motion presented by Councilor Haas that the mayor requests the library to provide handicap accessibility. This motion is being submitted due to the large number of seniors who utilize the building and have difficulty climbing the stairs. Calendar item number 31, pursuant to Council Order 16-140. This is a motion presented by Councilor Haas that the mayor requests the DCR to establish bike safety regulations for Revere Beach that would require a sound device, a horn, a bell, etc., to be installed on bicycles for the purpose of warning pedestrians and motor vehicles. Calendar item number 32. Pursuant to Council Order 16-141, this is a motion presented by Councilor McKenna that the mayor requests the Suffolk County Work Crew to clean up Furlong Drive. The deplorable conditions of litter, tires, and debris make the entranceway coming in from Boston an eyesore for people shopping in this area. Calendar item number 33. Pursuant to Council Order 16-142, this is a motion presented by Councilor McKenna that the mayor requests inspectional services to contact the owners of Durant Paint to remove the graffiti on the back wall of the building that faces the Revere Beach Parkway. Calendar item number 34. Pursuant to Council Order 16-143, this is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City Council issue a certificate of commendation to Dan Rizzo for donating $33,000 to the City of Revere Scholarship Fund. Calendar item number 35, pursuant to Council Order 16-144, motion presented by Councilor Keefe that the mayor requests the police department to address several issues surrounding the Harry Della Russo Stadium neighborhood. 1. Patrol the stadium between the hours of 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. People are accessing the stadium after hours and are causing a nuisance to the residents of the area. 2. Investigate the reported drug activity on Alston Street. And 3. Enforce the no parking regulations on Park Avenue along the length of the stadium. The current parking situation is a danger to both motorists and pedestrians. And calendar item number 36, pursuant to Council Order 16-145, this is a motion presented by Councilors Keefe, Hass, and Patch that the mayor requests the city solicitor to enforce the contract rights in regards to contractor Argus Construction paying liquid damages for failure to complete the project, the agreed upon and specified timeline as stated within the contract for up to $1,000 per day for each calendar day of delayed completion. The contract clearly states completion of Field 1 should be fully operational on or before April 1st, 2016. And this has been before the council. A reading of the Revere City Council Agenda for the meeting of Monday, May 23rd, 2016. I'm Rick Promise, and I'll see you at the council.